This Shabbos we read not one Sefer Torah, two Sefer, three Sefer Torah. It's a very, very unique opportunity. It doesn't happen very often. Can happen only Rosh Chodesh Nisan or Rosh Chodesh Adar, when it's Shkolim, or Chanukah when it's also Rosh Chodesh Teves. It doesn't happen every year. Sometimes we can go a few years without having it at all. Three Sefer Torah. What's the third Sefer Torah? First is Parshas Shavua. Second is Rosh Chodesh. The third is Parshas HaChodesh. What's Parshas HaChodesh? HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem. It's in Parshas Boy, when Klal Yisrael was still in Mitzrayim. Kadosh Baruch Hu gives them, Rashi calls it the first mitzvah. Rashi at the beginning of Bereshit says, why doesn't the Torah start from HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem? This is the beginning of the commandments of HaKadosh Baruch Hu telling Klal Yisrael about the mitzvahs. This is the first mitzvah. We know that the mitzvah HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem, the Pashup Pshat in the words HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem, is that Chodesh Nisan is the first month of all the months. But we also know HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem in this mitzvah is all the halachas of Kiddush HaChodesh, of how to decide and how to set when the month starts, when the month begins, what day of the month. We know that Pesach is the 15th, but when is the 15th? It all depends on Bezdin. When Bezdin decides, according to where the moon looks, HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu taught Moshe Rabbeinu all the mitzvahs of how to decide the Jewish calendar. The Sforno says on this pasuk HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem, the Sforno says, Mikan ve'elach, from this moment on, you chadashim shalachem lasman k'tzaynchem. The months are for you to do how you wish. L'rtzaynchem. So the Pashup Pshat and the Sforno is that Bezin decides when to decide when Rosh Chodesh is. Like we know, the Gemara says, Afilu Toyim, even if Bezin makes a mistake, Bezin decides today's Rosh Chodesh, that's it. The story is over, today's Rosh Chodesh. Rav Pam in the Sefer HaTorah Lamelech, he says that the pshat and the words in this form we can understand a little bit differently, and with this we can understand why this mitzvah is the first mitzvah that was given to Klal Yisrael as a nation from Moshe Rabbeinu. This Chodesh is for you, says Rapam. What the Sforno is alluding to is that Moshe Rabbeinu is Kodesh Baruch Hu is telling Moshe to tell Klal Yisrael, listen carefully to what I'm telling you now. Time is yours. You decide what to do at the time. You do what you want. I'm telling you how to set the time. Today is the first day of the month, second day of the month, but from now on, it's up to you to decide what to do with the time. Says Rapam, the Gemara says in Maseches Gittin, how do you decide if a child is considered already a mature child or not a mature child? Give him a rock and a nut, and see what he does. Does he take the rock and throw away the nut, or does he take the nut and throw away the rock? That gives us an understanding. If he can understand a little bit, this is worth something, this is worthless. A rock is worthless, and this is food, this is worth something. We have a little bit of money, we have a little bit of some money, we already start deciding, we already start thinking, should we put it in the bank, should we keep it in a safe, should we invest it? We think about what to do. Says Rapam, why don't we think like that when we're faced with the most important, the most valuable commodity that a person can ever have is time. It's limited, it's worth so much, we can do so much with our time, and we decide what we can do with our time. How come we don't sit and decide and plan? How are we going to use our time properly? If we don't do that, says Rapam, this is the introduction to the entire Kol HaTorah Kula. Yitzias Mitzrayim, everything, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is about to take them out of Mitzrayim, give them the Torah, and give them all the mitzvahs, but before he does anything, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem. The first thing you have to understand, you have to value your time, you have to plan properly what you're going to do with every minute. This time, like this one says, is yours, Shalachem, Laspim Kirtzanchem, it's yours. Once you understand that, then I can give you Kol HaTorah Kula. Then we can start talking about all the other mitzvahs. But before Pesach, before Matan Torah, before anything else, HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem. We should be zeichet to utilize every minute properly, be able to prepare properly for Pesach, and for everything that we do with our lives, with our limud HaTorah, and our Shmiyas HaMitzvahs, and our Maitzim Mitzvahs. Good Shabbos.